What is up, guys? It's the Carnivore coming back at you with another one. This time we're covering every single cave location on Ark Ascended Ragnarok. Every single cave across the map. If I missed one, I know y'all are gonna let me know, but I know a lot of people are gonna find this video helpful. We're all looking to live in caves. We're all looking to be protected. We are all looking for a safe space to keep our tames and our loot. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's jump right into all of these caves across Ragnarok. Here we are at cave number 1, 57.5, 19.4. This is one of the newer caves added to the map, guys. I promise throughout this video I'm not going to talk too crazy or too much. Just know this is a big cave. We got a lot of caves to cover, but this is one of the, medium-sized to big-sized caves. You can raise water tames, plenty of vertical room. 2 main entrances, and that's pretty much it for this cave, guys. But you can be able to fit a lot of people and a lot of tames in here. Moving on to number 2, guys, 48.3, 12.2, and again, this is another one of the newer caves that got added along with some of the little islands off the side of the mainland Ragnarok. I won't speak too much on this cave. Medium-sized cave. You can fit a good bit of tames. Small entrance, making defense pretty easy for PvP. Outside of that, guys, go ahead, take a look, and then we're going to be on to the next cave. Cave number 3, 10.5, 23.6, and guys, this is an underwater cave, gonna make it really easy to defend. This is probably gonna be one of the hottest base locations on Ragnarok. So if you're trying to get there, I'd get there soon, but it's got tons of room for raising, breeding. Like, this is probably one of the best caves on the map, in my opinion. You could fit a huge tribe in here, as you can see. Like the space is ridiculous. It reminds you kind of like hard and easy underwater on the island. But again, guys, large, massive cave, plenty of room for everything. Let's move on to the next. Moving on to cave number 4, 27.9, 47.5. I believe this is the one everyone likes to refer to as Triple Waterfall Cave. Pretty well known, but medium-sized cave, nothing too crazy. Fit a mid to large-sized tribe in here. Plenty of room for taming, breeding, all of that bull crap that we like to do. As you can see, it opens up pretty nicely, so you're not going to be cramped. But again, 2 entrances, something to be mindful of. That's going to be a couple of the caves on this list. But outside of that, guys, I'll see you at the next location. Cave number 5, 35.2, 50.2. This cave, it's gotten a rework. It used to have 3 entrances, guys. Now it only has 2. It's pretty small. It's going to be an area for a small tribe. Keep in mind, again, 2 entrances means 2 different points of defense that you got to manage. So it's something to super consider if you're going to consider basing here. But outside of that, guys, not too much on this cave. Let's move on to the next. Cave number 6, guys, 32.4, 44.2. This is another one of those caves, you know, medium-sized cave. It's got plenty of room to do everything you need to do, and you can fit like a small to medium-sized tribe in here, you know. So plenty of room, room to build up, room to build straight out, and 1 point of entry, which is what we like. 1 point of entry means you got to defend one spot. But anyways, guys, on to the next. Here we are at cave number 7, 32.3, 43.9. And again, guys, this cave has one entrance. It's a medium-sized cave. You can fit a medium-sized tribe in here, small to medium, depending on what you're trying to do. Not too much on this one. It's right next to cave number 6 that we just went over. But anyways, go ahead, take a look, and we're going to move on to the next. Cave number 8, 41.4, 42.4. And again, guys, this is a super well-known cave. I don't need to go over too much on this. It's a medium-sized cave. It's pretty easy to defend. Huge drop-off out front. You got a water source in there for raising water tames. You can fit a medium to small-sized tribe in here. And as you can see, tons and tons of room. That's what we like. One entrance. Take a look around, and we're going to move on to the next. Moving on to cave number 9, 35.0, 38.4. And guys, this is where we start to leave prime real estate and we move into subpar, middle of the ground type real estate, okay? This cave is big on the inside, plenty of room to do anything you need to do. But the problem is we have multiple entrances. We have 3 entrances on this cave, guys. They're all, you know, about the same size. So unless you're a large tribe, this is going to be pretty hard to defend, and it's going to cost you way more materials than you actually want to go farm. So if you're not a large size tribe, this is not a cave I'd recommend. Other than that, you can see how big it is. Let's go ahead and let's move on to the next location. Cave number 10, guys, again, 45.5, 32.6. This is one of those caves that is super well known. You know, I don't really see, at least on Old Ark, a lot of people building in here, but it does have 2 entrances. So again, that's probably one of the reasons. 2 entrances always means more work to defend, especially in PvP. But outside of that, it's got plenty of room. At the top of this cave, you know, the temperature is a little colder, and then you come down to the bottom and it warms up. So you got a little bit of 2 different biomes going on in here. But outside of that, guys, take a gander and we're going to move on to the next location. Cave number 11, 26.3, 27.0. And I'm going to tell you guys, this is one of my favorite caves. Even though it has 2 entrances, they are super well hidden by the natural foliage on the outsides of both entrances. This is a really good cave in my opinion. Entrances aren't huge, which means it's not going to be terrible to defend. But it is, you know, a little tight on the inside. I'd say a small to medium sized cave. But you can fit like probably 6 dudes in here, 6 tribe mates without too much of a problem. Anyways, guys, let's move on to the next cave. Moving on to cave number 12, 20.1, 27.6. And if you guys are still here, this is another cave where it is for a small tribe mainly. Not a ton of space, not huge, but it is super hidden from the outside, as you can see. It does have two entrances. It's about the same, you know, size, height, whatever, all the way through from entrance 1 to entrance 2. So, you know, pretty big entrances to defend. I'd say you fit a small, medium in here, but you definitely are going to have to manage these two entrances, guys. These are pretty big. Outside of that, let's move on to the next cave. Here we are at cave 13, 19.1, 23.0. Sorry, this cave is gigantic, guys. But again, you know, you can fit a large tribe in here, but the problem becomes this thing has 3 entrances, and one of them is absolutely massive, which we're going to see here in a minute. After we scoop around the back here, we're going to come up, and when we look up, you're going to see that there is a massive entrance, and that is always going to be a problem, guys. Defending an entrance like that, unless you're in a huge tribe, is just not viable, you know. So this is a great cave for space, a terrible cave for defending. There's that huge opening one more time. Let's go ahead, let's move into this next location. Cave 14, 20.6, 29.2, and this one, guys, has one entrance, is what we like to hear. It's a medium-sized cave. It's going to be easy to defend in PvP. You know, you're just going to have to spam out here in this little canyon a little bit, but other than that, tight entrance. Again, one entrance, so it will be viable for PvP, guys, and plenty of space for taming, breeding, raising, all that bull stuff in here, so you ain't got to worry about none of that. It's got 2 rooms. Again, a medium-sized cave, but without any more talking on this one, let's move into the next one. Moving on to cave 15, 22.7, 30.7, and this one is known as Viking Bay Cave, guys, but this one is pretty big on the inside. I'd say, you know, medium to large. You're going to be able to fit a medium to large tribe in here. I'd probably say more on the medium side, but tons of space in here, guys, and it only has one entrance. I don't know if you can still do this on the new Ark, but on Ark Evolved, you could drive a raft through that, and raft raiding became a pretty big problem, which is why nobody based in here, but they might have solved it, or maybe you'll solve it. So if you like this spot, it's probably going to be open for those reasons. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the next cave location. Cave number 16, 35.2, 24.2. And guys, this cave, you know, not a super common one to be used. You can't really build inside of this one as far as I know, or maybe it's just because there's so much junk in here, like obsidian and other rocks. But the reason I put it on the list is, one, there's 3 rocks you have to break so that you can see inside from the outside, and 2, you can park rafts in this thing. Like, you can put a raft down in here, so you can have like 3-4 rafts in here, you know, with turrets, whatever loot. Nice little cheeky spot to hide some of your stuff. But anyways, let's move into the next location. Here we are, cave 17, 18.8, 48.0, and this is what is commonly referred to, or was referred to on old Ark, as Dark Cave, guys. It's not very dark anymore, thank God. If you remember Survival Evolved, this used to be a treacherous cave to go through without tech, guys. So anyways, this cave is absolutely massive. There's a castle over near Viking Bay with a smaller entrance, and both of these connect. But you'll see as we go down, you know, this goes down forever. And then when we hit the water, it opens up into this huge tunnel that takes you towards that castle entrance I'm talking about. But before you get there, it cracks wide open, guys. So this is an absolutely massive cave, probably the biggest on the map. I wouldn't take this one unless you're in a mega or a super big tribe, something like that. But without further ado, let's jump into the next cave location. Moving on to cave 18, 19.7, 65.3, guys, and this one is commonly referred to as the lava golem cave. You know, it's not huge. I'd say medium-sized cave, definitely hot in this mug. So I'd suggest, you know, a lot of AC units if you don't have tech, maybe AC units under the floor or something, just for, you know, comfortability, so you're not having to carry water in here all the time. But outside of that, guys, plenty of space, as you can see. Definitely viable for like a medium-sized tribe. One entrance, which is what we love. Without any other words, though, let's go ahead. Let's jump into this next cave location. Here we are at cave 19, 18.2, 78.8, and guys, I actually love what they did with this cave. It's known as Highlands Cave, and the way they reworked it, you know, the water out front, the way it is now versus the little river creek thing that used to be coming out, I love it. The entrance is pretty much the same, huge entrance to defend, but again, one entrance. So, you know, right now it's early game. You could probably build this up in a way to where it's defendable by the time servers open up, if you so choose. But enough about this cave. We all know about it. Let's move on to the next. Cave 20, 55.0, 56.9, and this is one of the few desert caves, guys. It's not very big. Small to medium tribe is going to be able to fit in here. One entrance, but the entrance is pretty open, as you're about to see. So, you know, it could become like a little bit of an issue to defend, depending on what your defenses are looking like, what your spam out front's looking like. But again, small to medium sized tribe in here. Let's move to the next cave. Cave 21, 58.7, 58.4. My goodness, all these numbers are messing me up. But guys, as you can see, this cave has two front entrances, one there, one behind the waterfall, and then it has a top entrance as well, which you're going to see when we get inside, and also a back entrance, which is a problem. That's the reason this is so low on the list. Yes, guys, 4 entrances is a problem unless you're a super big tribe, which in this cave, guys, you can fit a lot of people. It's very big. The downside, again, is those 4 entrances make it very hard to defend. Maybe if you pick one little section of this cave, you know, you could control it enough, like the one we just went through right there, control it enough to, you know, make defending it viable. But, you know, other than that, if you're not in like a super big tribe, this can be a really hard cave to defend. But enough on this cave, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's move into the next cave location. Moving on to cave 22, 85.9, 51.2, and this cave is commonly referred to as Salt Cave, guys, and I like what they did with this one. Again, you know, much like Highlands Cave, they gave it a rework. It no longer has 2 entrances. It doesn't have that back entrance where you break the rock anymore. It just has this one front entrance, and the cave goes pretty deep. So you're going to be able to fit a lot of guys in here, a medium to large size tribe, as well as only having that one entrance to defend makes it super viable for PvP. I love what they did with this cave. It's a great thing, the way they reworked it. But without any other words on this one, let's go put some words on the next cave. Cave 23, guys, 67.9, 45.0, and this cave is pretty big on the inside. I'd say medium to large, but the problem is there's like 3 or 4 entrances, but 3 of those entrances are right next to each other, guys. This is the only lone entrance all the way at the back. You could probably do something back here in this area before, you know, it opens up over here. And here you're starting to see that's one of the other entrances. We go down, there's a couple more. One of the entrances, conveniently enough, opens up right above the Wyvern Den on the south side of the map. So I like it for that reason. If you're trying to farm eggs, it makes it super easy. But outside of that, guys, this probably won't be super viable for PvP. Let's go ahead and let's move into the next cave location. Moving on to cave 24 to 86.8, 38.9, guys. This one, you know, I had some iffy feelings about putting it on here. It does have 2 entrances, and I don't know that we would really call it a cave. It kind of is. Look at it. I mean, it's a cave. It's a cave. It's just not a huge cave, and it does have 2 big entrances that are really close to each other. Defending might be a problem. That's something you'll have to work out in your own time. But let's go ahead and let's jump into our next cave location. Here we are at cave 25, 52.3, 21.1, and this one is another one of those ones, guys, not super viable for PvP in my opinion. It's like a turtle shell. It's got a hole for the head, the legs, and the tail. There's like 6 entrances on this thing, bro. But outside of that, it's got a lot of top cover. Again, you know, just defending all these entrances, as you see, could be a super big problem in PvP, which make it not really viable for that type of thing. But I mean, you know, a temporary hideout spot, maybe, I don't know. But let's go ahead, let's jump into the next cave. Moving on to cave 26, 79.8, 63.5. This one has 2 entrances, guys. Both entrances are super big. That's like my main problem for this cave. You know, defending it in PvP could be a little bit of a problem. But outside of that, it's got a ton of space inside. A ton of metal surrounds the entire area. So metal runs are going to be super easy. Sulfur runs easy. Salt runs are easy. Just overall, this is going to be a good spot for farming, like a good farming base. So maybe I have to get tech, get a TP over here, something like that. But that's enough about this cave, other than the fact that it is large, guys. But let's go ahead and let's move on to the next. Honorable mention, guys, I was looking at this area as 71.2, 68.7, the little, you know, mosque looking thing over here. Look at these rooms. These rooms, they all have the one front entrance, and there's a ton of space in them, and there is like 8 of them over here at these little ruins. You know, you could make an individual base out of one of these little rooms, or you could take all of these rooms, you know, put a TP inside of each one. You could turn this whole little village area over here into some kind of super mega, you know, crazy base. Raising rooms, breeding rooms, friggin' comm rooms, personal rooms. Like this thing could be insane, I think, if built right. But this is one of those areas, guys, unless you're trying to take the whole thing with a mega. If you're not in like a large tribe, you know, or a mega tribe, this can be really hard to take. But you could take one of these rooms, you know, as a small to medium tribe and probably make it viable. But outside of that, I don't really see anyone like building a real base here, unless it's something like that, you know, a small to medium group of people taking one of these rooms, you know. But anyways, guys, I want to say thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all liked the video. If you found it helpful, drop a like, leave a subscribe. You guys are always welcome here. Always a pleasure to help y'all out with whatever you need video wise, as far as base building, finding bases, base locations. But anyways, I'll see y'all next time.